my name is Melanie and I'm a black lesbian. Right, so when I came out and started going out, obviously it was a few years ago, so there wasn't the apps and the dating apps or dating websites. So generally you would really only meet females in clubs. So you would go out specifically knowing that you would hope to meet someone that was attractive. So when I came out, my cousin, who's gay, was the person I went to and said, look, this is who I think I am. And I'd like to meet some people because I didn't even have gay friends, really. All my friends were straight. So he would take me to the clubs where I'd hopefully meet people, like-minded people. Unfortunately, most of the clubs were gay clubs, so most of the clubs had mostly men. You would only have a handful of females. Because there wasn't really, outside of Candy Bar, there wasn't much female-specific places to go. So it was quite difficult. And then you'd go out and the females, they'd be in their cliques. So you'd be standing there like Billy No Mates, not quite sure how to approach someone if you found them attractive because they were bunched together and it's a little bit difficult. Or you'd hope someone might see you and come over and talk to you and you take it from there, really. So, yeah, it wasn't the easiest experience, I have to say. I mean, it's not like now where I could have gone to a website, I can get talking to somebody way before. We didn't have any of that. I mean, we barely had Facebook. So, how did my friends react? Well, some of my friends were fine because I discussed with them while I was a bit confused. I'd been talking to them about being unhappy, knowing that I didn't feel right. And some of my friends were like, well, Mel, you need to go and find out. If you think you're gay, then you need to go and find out because you're not happy. So they were fine when I turned around and said to them, actually, I am definitely gay. Some of my friends are like, why? Or are you sure? Or what's wrong? So my closest friends, they were kind of fine. One of my friends got upset because she was a bit disturbed that I didn't find her attractive even though she's not gay. So I had to be saying to her, you're not attracted to every female just because you're gay. And then I had some friends, particularly friends from school, who would see me when I dated men that were really confused. I've got some friends that aren't particularly happy. And though they say you're okay, you can tell that the friendship has changed since I've said to them I'm gay. So it's been a really difficult transition, really, because I did date men before, so it wasn't as though I'd never dated men. So I know some of them have found it really hard to get to grips because I live in a very heterosexual world. Most of my friends, if not all of my friends, are straight. So there's them, there's their partner, my godchildren, who actually, my godchildren have been cool. Above all, my godchildren would be just like, well, it's Auntie Mel, we don't care, it's still Auntie Mel. So it's been an interesting time. And even now, I'm still bumping into friends that I haven't seen for years. And I'm like, oh, I'm getting married. Right, so yeah, now that I'm getting married, it's I'm still bumping into friends who are really shocked. They're incredibly shocked. So a friend of mine called me, I hadn't spoken to him for years. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm getting married next year. And he was like, who? And I was like, oh yeah, I'm getting married to a female. And then there was this long silence. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah. And though he wasn't upset, you could tell that he was a bit shocked. Um, and for a lot of people, you know, it's almost like, oh, well, so you really are gay then? Like, this isn't a phase that, you know, you're going to come out of at some point in some future. I've had people question me, one of my friends questioned me, and I said to her, she was like, well, why? You know, because I don't agree with it. I said to her, if I had a choice, I wouldn't be gay. And that's the honest truth. If I had a choice, life would probably be a lot more simpler if it was the standard lifestyle. So this is not a choice. I said, I've got a daughter who, if she's gay, she's gay. But ideally, you want the best for her and the easiest life possible for her. So it wouldn't be my choice for her, though whatever she chooses is fine. And that's when she kind of looked at me and sort of said, okay, I get it. Okay, so I think for me personally, in the last 10 years, I've felt that life is a journey. Being a lesbian is a bigger journey than most. But I think over the last 10 years, it feels to me that things have become more easier for me. I think people have become more accepting of me and therefore, by definition, others. Okay, I remember when I came out, one of my main goals was to get people who were my friends to accept me and accept who I am, because I felt it would then open the door to accept others and accept and understand that as a lesbian community, we're there, we're not different, you know, we're not an alien, we're just regular people who are attracted to people of the same sex. And I've within my life have noticed that it's easier because I can be out. I'm out. I guess if you have a classic lesbian, you know, that would be me in terms of how I dress, how I carry myself, the sort of hairstyles that I have, and I've never felt a need to hide it. I've not had to fortunately face any sort of real intolerance, but I also know that's partly because of my character. And my character is such as that I laugh a lot, I joke a lot, I'm very open, I'm very warm. And so because of that, I tend to get that back anyway. So I'm quite fortunate when I think about the work that I do and the people that I work with and being and dressing how I am, and it's not had a negative impact. But that's just for me, and I'm well aware for others it's not the same. But I do think over the last 10 years, it's day by day be getting slightly easier. You know, we're out there more. There's much more being done. There's websites. There's books. There's, you know, people are a bit more curious. I mean, my daughter, she goes to school. She had something at school, and I remember one of her friends, and she was like, "That's my mum," and she was like, "Mummy, they didn't believe I had two mums," you know, but she was able to do that, and she was able to say at 9 years old that I've got two mums. That for me is how far things are changing. You know, it ain't going to be perfect, but the fact that she can confidently go into school and say I've got two mums says that something's changing, and all we can do is continue to not hide. And the more you don't hide and the more you're out there, the more things change, because people see who you are. And people, some people won't, but you know, those are the kind of people that won't accept many people. It won't just be lesbians, believe me. But that's my experience. I think it's getting easier. I think there's ways to go, because I know there's still a lot of bigotry, there's still a lot of homophobia, but I also think that it's nowhere near as bad as it was when I came out in the very early 90s. and it was very difficult to tell people then because people just didn't understand or didn't want to understand. People now are a bit more curious. People ask a lot more questions. And I guess also the government has had something to do with it in changing laws and making it illegal to be a homophobe. It's not the perfect answer, but it's a start. It's a start that you can actually go to the police and say, I want this person charged for being abusive. And these are these are things that need to happen. The suffragettes did it. Getting the vote for the woman, it was the same thing. So I think things have come a long way, even though they've got a long way to go.